She stood there, designer heels clicking impatiently on the marble floor of his modest apartment, offering him a check with more zeros than he'd ever seen. All she wanted was his daughter. If you're wondering how a single dad with nothing could leave a billionaire speechless, stay with me until the end. This story changed my perspective on what truly matters in life. If this resonates with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more stories that remind us of our shared humanity. Marcus Jenkins wiped the sweat from his brow as he rushed to pick up his 5-year-old daughter, Lily, from kindergarten. He was late again. The small construction company where he worked had kept him overtime, and his babysitter had called in sick that morning. His phone buzzed with a text from the school, the third reminder this month. When he arrived, Lily was sitting alone on a bench outside the principal's office, her small pink backpack clutched to her chest. Her face lit up when she saw him, and she ran into his arms, her earlier disappointment instantly forgotten. "Daddy! I drew you a picture today." She pulled out a colorful crayon drawing of 2 stick figures holding hands under a rainbow. "It's beautiful, sweetheart," Marcus said, his exhaustion momentarily forgotten. "I'm sorry I'm late again." The principal, Mrs. Rodriguez, approached with a sympathetic but concerned expression. "Mr. Jenkins, could we speak privately for a moment?" While Lily colored in the waiting area, Mrs. Rodriguez gently explained that the school had concerns about Lily's frequent tardiness at pickup and occasional missed breakfasts. "We understand your situation, but we need to ensure Lily's needs are being met consistently." Marcus nodded, shame burning his cheeks. "I'm doing my best. My wife's death last year, it's been hard adjusting." Mrs. Rodriguez softened. "There are resources available. The school has a family support program, and there's a new scholarship opportunity for single parents that might help with after-school care." That night, after tucking Lily into bed with 2 bedtime stories, one more than usual to make up for being late, Marcus sat at his kitchen table surrounded by bills. The mortgage was 3 months behind, and the medical bills from his late wife's cancer treatment still loomed large. The scholarship application sat before him, a lifeline he desperately needed. 2 weeks later, Marcus received a call that would change everything. The scholarship committee wanted to meet him, specifically, the founder of the foundation funding the program. The meeting was set at an upscale downtown office building that made Marcus feel out of place in his only decent button-down shirt. He was led to a conference room where a single woman sat at the head of a long table, studying his application. Alexandra Winters didn't look up when he entered. At 42, she was the CEO of Winters Enterprises, a technology empire she'd built from the ground up. Her sleek black hair was pulled into a tight bun, and her tailored suit probably cost more than Marcus's car. "Mr. Jenkins," she finally said, looking up with calculating eyes. "Your application is interesting." The interview proceeded with standard questions about his situation, Lily's needs, and his plans for the future. But something felt off. Alexandra seemed to be studying him rather than evaluating him. As the meeting concluded, Alexandra made an unexpected request. "I'd like to meet your daughter. Perhaps I could visit your home tomorrow?" Confused but not wanting to jeopardize the scholarship, Marcus agreed. The next evening, Alexandra's luxury car looked comically out of place in front of his small apartment building. Lily, initially shy, quickly warmed up to the visitor, proudly showing her collection of rocks and drawings. After Lily went to bed, Alexandra's demeanor changed completely. "I'll be direct, Mr. Jenkins. I'm not here about a scholarship." She opened her designer handbag and pulled out a checkbook. "I want to adopt your daughter." Marcus stared at her, certain he'd misheard. "Excuse me? I've been looking for the right child for some time. Your daughter is perfect, bright, healthy, and adaptable. I can provide her with everything you cannot." She wrote a figure on the check that made Marcus's eyes widen. "This should compensate you adequately and allow you to start fresh." The room seemed to tilt as Marcus processed her words. "You want to buy my daughter?" Alexandra frowned. I prefer to see it as a mutually beneficial arrangement. You're clearly struggling, and I can give Lily opportunities beyond anything you could provide. Private schools, international travel, connections to the best universities. She's not for sale, Marcus said, his voice barely above a whisper. Everyone has a price, Alexandra replied, adding another zero to the check. Be reasonable. Think about what's best for Lily. Marcus stood up, trembling with a mixture of rage and disbelief. What's best for Lily? You think what's best for my daughter is to be purchased like a designer accessory by someone who sees her as an acquisition? Alexandra's expression hardened. I've done my research on you, Mr. Jenkins. You're 3 months from foreclosure. You can barely afford childcare. The school has concerns about your ability to parent effectively. Get out, Marcus said quietly. Don't be foolish. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. My daughter isn't an opportunity. She's a person. A little girl who needs love, not luxury. Alexandra stood, straightening her jacket. Love doesn't pay bills, Mr. Jenkins. I'll leave my card. When reality sets in, call me. As she turned to leave, Marcus found his voice again. Ms. Winters, may I ask you something? Why Lily? Why not adopt through proper channels? She paused at the door. I don't have time for red tape. I'm 42, running a global company. I want a child, not the hassle of pregnancy or dealing with agencies. I want what I want when I want it. That's how I've built my life. Marcus shook his head slowly. That's exactly why you shouldn't be a parent. Alexandra's perfectly composed face flickered with something, anger, perhaps, or a deeper hurt. Excuse me? Parenthood isn't about what you want. It's about what your child needs, even when it's inconvenient, exhausting, or heartbreaking. His voice grew stronger. Every day, I fail in a dozen small ways. I'm late, I forget things, I serve cereal for dinner when I'm too tired to cook. But I show up. I try again. I put Lily first. He walked to the refrigerator and pointed to Lily's artwork. This is parenthood. Not checkbooks and private schools. It's sitting on the bathroom floor at 3 a.m. when she's sick. It's answering endless, why questions when you're bone tired. It's watching her grow and knowing someday she won't need you anymore, and being okay with that because that's the job. Alexandra stood frozen, her hand on the doorknob. You don't want a child, Marcus continued softly. You want the idea of one. Something to complete your perfect life. But children aren't accessories or achievements. They're messy, complicated human beings who change everything about your world. For the first time, Alexandra seemed at a loss for words. Her carefully constructed facade cracked, revealing something vulnerable beneath. I never had that, she finally said, so quietly Marcus almost missed it. Someone who put me first. The admission hung in the air between them. I'm sorry, Marcus said, and he meant it. Alexandra nodded once, then left without another word, leaving her card and the uncashed check on the table. 3 days later, a courier delivered an envelope to Marcus's apartment. Inside was paperwork for a legitimate scholarship for Lily, covering not just after-school care but educational expenses through high school, and a note. No strings attached. Some things shouldn't have a price tag. 6 months later, Marcus was surprised to receive an invitation to the opening of a new Winters Foundation initiative, a comprehensive support program for single parents, offering childcare, job training, and housing assistance. The card included a personal note. Your words stayed with me. Thank you for the lesson in what matters. Lily is lucky to have you. Alexandra. At the opening ceremony, Alexandra looked different, softer somehow, though no less formidable. She spoke about how a chance encounter had changed her perspective on family, success, and what truly constitutes wealth. Afterward, she approached Marcus and Lily with uncharacteristic hesitation. "I owe you both an apology," she said, kneeling to Lily's level. "Especially you, young lady. I made a mistake." Lily, with the straightforward acceptance of childhood, simply offered Alexandra one of her prized rocks from her pocket. "That's okay. Daddy says everybody makes mistakes. That's how we learn." Alexandra accepted the small stone with surprising reverence. "Your daddy is very wise." As they parted ways, Alexandra turned back. "Mr. Jenkins, Marcus, thank you for stopping me from making the worst mistake of my life." "And thank you," he replied, "for turning your mistake into something that will help so many families." Years later, when asked about the foundation's origin, Alexandra would simply say it began with a humbling lesson from a single father who taught her that true wealth isn't measured in bank accounts but in the courage to put someone else's needs before your own. And that, dear viewers, is how a struggling single dad with nothing but love for his daughter changed the heart of a billionaire who thought everything had a price. Sometimes the richest people are those who have nothing to sell. If this story touched you, please like and subscribe for more reminders of what truly matters in this complicated world we share.